Welcome to Tackle the Board. My name is Chris Exusion. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter, and my co-host Russ Reese, the Vegas line reader, joining me. I cannot wait for this week, Russ. Rising and firing with bets. We got our best bets going on this week. We got college championships going on. The regular season has ended for college football, but NFL's still going strong. I'm pumped. Let's get this started.
Yeah, definitely feeling good. I had another great week, and I ended up hitting on Oklahoma. Just got by in that game. It was great. I mean, they had the game, but at the end, I don't know if you caught the end of that game. Guy on Oklahoma fumbled inside the 5 and basically just gave Oklahoma State a touchdown for the win. But had the Giants. We talked about that last week. We actually gave that pick out, the Giants too. And we saw how sloppy the Eagles played, and the Giants got the cover for us. So it's all about finding these teams that are just being steamed way too much, and the public's jumping on these teams and they're getting fooled in situations. So we're going to keep on rolling. I feel good again this week. We've just been absolutely on fire, and we're going to keep making money. So whoever's watching the show is definitely making a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's why I harp again and again is that we find our spots every week. And I tell people the lines are based on last week perception. That's the most important thing to realize, is that these lines are made for the bettors that just watch these games and first reactions. You know, these lines are coming out and people are like, I cannot believe this team is laying this many points or getting this many points. This team's going to kill this other team because of last week. This happens all the time, and we don't get fooled by this. And I just want to talk about a crazy game, though, that happened last week, college football. It was my biggest play in college football last week. I had 3 units on it. Usually I have 1 unit on a game. I actually had 3 units on it. I had guys messaging me saying, oh man, you have 3 units on it. I can't believe this. I'm like, yeah, I absolutely love this play. It was Western Kentucky against Marshall. It got a little dicey in the beginning. The quarterback for Marshall was playing pretty well, and Zappe was kind of not playing well the first half. He was a little slow, missing his wide receivers, but then they ripped off like 45, 50 points in the second half. It was absolutely crazy. Just that offense is nasty. Number 1 passing offense. A lot of fun to watch when they're rolling. They can roll anytime, and that was a no doubter in the second half.
Yeah, that's what happens with great offenses. They just wake up out of nowhere. But that Seahawks game was also crazy. That's what always happens. I told you this like a week or 2 ago. I always sweep a weekend, have a great weekend, and then it comes to Monday Night Football, and I always somehow just take a loss on that Monday Night Football game. I'm just like, God, just give me a perfect weekend. This is terrible. But I definitely had a bad feeling about that Seahawks game. The situation was so great for me in so many spots when they're a dog, but when I saw this steam was coming and moving that line to -2, Seahawks were getting favored. That's what makes me nervous. I didn't like that at all. And that game, Russell Wilson, man, that offensive line is terrible, and he can't move like he used to. That team does not look good at all. So we'll touch on some more things as we get into our picks, but we'll jump into your first game of the week. You actually got another Thursday game here. You got the Cowboys at Saints +4.5. Who you got in this matchup?
Yeah, I'm touching up on the Thursday games again. We've been pretty good with this, minus that Falcons game. But besides that, we've been pretty good for the Thursday nights. I'm actually really liking the Cowboys here. Cowboys are coming off 2 straight up and against the spread losses. They really need to keep this, they need to win this game and win it pretty handily to keep in control of the NFC East. The Saints have been absolutely terrible on both sides of the ball. They were known for their great rushing defense, and now that kind of fell apart. The Eagles, did a number on them there, and just the Saints are having a hard time scoring. There shouldn't be any Kamara. The offensive tackle still being out has still been huge for the Saints as far as I'm not playing well, and they're just banged up. And CeeDee Lamb's coming back. He should be a go. I heard Amari Cooper is possibly coming back. Everyone's coming back for this game. This is an important game. So, they need the race is getting a little bit closer over here in the NFC East. I typically don't like taking the betting side. I usually don't do that, but I really like the Cowboys here. This is high for a reason, especially the numbers have not been good with them recently, with straight up and against the spread. So you're actually getting a little bit of value with them on the road. So give me the Cowboys laying 4.5, making a statement this Thursday night.
Yeah, that's good. They haven't been playing well at all. So that's definitely a smart play. And it's never too bad. If you're with the bet percentage, it's always good to be on a playoff team. You just don't want to be on some crappy team that isn't going to make the playoffs. That's when it's not worth taking a favorite. So it definitely looks like a good spot there. And I was looking at the numbers. It says that spread should be like 2 or 3. So for it to be -5, dropping to -4, that's looking good on your end too. So definitely.
And we actually got a question over here by my boy Mitch over. He says, would you use the alternate line and go 6.5 and take that plus money? I honestly would, because you're kind of in that in between spot with 4.5, and it's in that and you're gonna get plus money anyway with going that. They're probably gonna win by a touchdown at least. If I think they're gonna cover 4.5, so they're gonna cover that 6.5. So Mitch, I'm right there with you. You're thinking right ahead of the game. I love it. Plus money. If they're gonna cover that 4.5, guess what? They're gonna cover that 6.5. You'll probably get like a plus 110, plus 115. Just get a little bit of that juice on your side. Smart move by you, Mitch, and thanks for the support. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you got to love if you got FanDuel or anything where you can get those alternative lines. I love that, especially when you're getting these underdog games. When these underdogs win, they usually win too pretty handedly. They can win by a touchdown. So you're getting pretty much 2 to 3 on your money. If you just take a +3 dog, put them at -6.5, do something like that, Mitch, you'll be banking in some serious money in those situations, because you're getting those teams that no one are taking, and they usually win pretty easily. So
yeah, I'm even looking at that right now. They're plus 115 with that -6.5 on DraftKings right now. So a little bit better than just that typical juice you lay with the 110. You're gonna get plus 115. So yeah, I'm all for it, Mitch, no doubt. But Russ, you're gonna get into your game now. Giants at Dolphins. The Dolphins are laying 4.5. Russ, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I got the Giants here. Dolphins, an average team coming off a blowout win last week. They're also coming off 4 straight games where they have covered the spread. They're on a little hot streak. They're getting a lot of steam from the public right now. Dolphins are still 24th in defensive yards allowed on the season. This is a team you just do not trust as a favorite. I was checking out their previous games. They are 2-2, so they're just average 2-2 on the season as a favorite. But the 2 wins that they had as a favorite were versus the Jets and the Texans. And both of those games were games that they just squeaked out a win by a touchdown in those games. So definitely a team I wouldn't trust against. Those are 2 of some of the worst teams in the NFL. So I wouldn't trust them against the Giants, who looked good playing defense last week against Hurts. And the Giants are an average team too. They'll win about 7-8 games, something like that. But Dolphins, they're a team that's going to regress this year. I'm not going to go crazy just because they're on a hot streak here. Give me the Giants plus 4.5.
Yeah, I like that as well. And you're also getting that reverse line movement as well. You just touched up on it. There's about 72% of the bettors taking the Dolphins right now. And the line usually started at like 5.5 that I saw. Now it's dropped down to 4.5 with all that money coming on the Dolphins. The books are begging you to take the Fins right here, and we're not taking the bait. Yeah, they're both bad teams, but the G-Men, they are playing pretty well right now, especially from that Eagles game. There's some good momentum there. Daniel Jones, I talked about last week. He's been really good with his legs. He showed that last week. Eagles had a hard time containing him there because of his legs. So I'm right there with you. I would also side with the G-Men there.
Nice. Awesome. So we'll jump into your next game. Me and Chris both have this game, but we're going to see who he's got and who I got. So Los Angeles Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals, -3 here. Who you got here?
Yeah, so Russ and I haven't even talked about it. We just gave out our games and we just put out our board and everything. We're tackling the board. I have no idea who he's taking here. I know who I'm taking. I'm taking the Chargers here. I like them getting the 3.5. Ooh. The Chargers coming off a terrible performance against the Broncos. They have 3 straight losses against the spread. Cincy coming off 2 dominant performances against Pittsburgh Steelers and Las Vegas Raiders. Chargers ranked 6th in passing yards per game. Cincy 25th in defending that. Chargers in our must-win situation. Again, we talked about that against the Eagles. This is the same kind of scenario. We're actually getting points. I actually would sprinkle money line on the Chargers here. Cincy, before the season started, was 1-7 off back-to-back straight-up wins. You're like, that's not a big deal. You got Burrow, new coach. That's a lot of games. They didn't run into that situation that much. This year, 0-2 off back-to-back straight-up wins. So even with this coach, it's still showing themselves not being good off back-to-back straight-up wins. Give me the Chargers plus 3.5.
So happy you're speaking my language over there. Because before I came on here, I was telling Chris, I'm like, all right, Chris, I got a game of the year here. He's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Oh,
So
all right.
I'm glad that we're both on the same page. You threw out some stuff that I like because it's not even the same stuff I have. So we got even
Beautiful. I
more
love
stuff
it.
going on with this game. Chargers, we got the public is all over the Bengals here, have won 2 straight games by 19 points or more in those games. So
Outrageous.
they're catching a lot of steam. And you talked about how the Chargers have lost 3 straight games against the spread. That's a combined minus 29 ATS points right there, which is pretty crazy because I got the Chargers as a team from the beginning of the season. I said, this is a playoff team. So to see them at just 6-5, they're underachieving against the spread so far this season. Now we're getting them in a dog roll against the Bengals, who are one of the most overachieving teams on the season, catching a lot of steam here, Chris. This is a perfect spot here. I got about 5 or 6 systems, and this fits 3 systems, this play right here. All right.
Trifecta system play.
Yes,
I love
this
it.
is, I don't know, I can't play any music, but this is a bet the mortgage play. All right. Take the
Nice.
Chargers. All right. Get them in now. All right. Let's not get screwed with any plus 2.5.
No, we
Get
don't
the
need
plus
that
3.
noise.
Get it right now. Don't even need the points. Screw it, right, Chris? Take the damn
No,
money
I already
line.
said I'm thinking money line,
Yeah,
too.
because the Chargers are not going 6-6 here. All right. They're winning this damn game. I do not see them losing here. The
Absolutely.
Bengals, whenever they get a little of attention, they choke like they did against the Jets earlier in the season. They're going to choke again here. Can't wait for it. Give us the Chargers.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, since Mitch brought it up before, I absolutely love it. You know, great supporter of the show. My dude over there. If you're laying 2, let's say you're laying 2.5 with the Chargers, right? Let's lay 2.5.
No. This is a game you lay. This is the type of game I'm talking about where you got the dog, you lay the 6.5 here, Chris.
Oh, all right.
Lay the touchdown. See what we got here for minus 6.5.
Actually, you know what? I actually don't see minus 6.5.
Yeah, they're scared.
I see minus 4 plus 230. That's as high as we're going.
See? Yeah, they're scared. They don't want to give you any more.
I love it.
This is where you put in a little, you do the minus 2.5, you sprinkle a little there, and then you sprinkle a little on the minus 6.5, and then you sprinkle a little on the minus 13.5, Chris. All right. Oh, you're on DraftKings. That's why.
Yeah,
you need to get with
FanDuel.
FanDuel. All right.
Other books, I would imagine that would be.
Yeah, FanDuel's where it's at. That's why I love FanDuel. I got my alternative lines up. So we're going to jump into your next game, and I'm going to find us a minus 13.5.
All right. I can't do a minus 13.5. I'm going to have to play it.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into your next game, though. You got the Eagles minus 6.5 at the New York Jets. Who you got in this game?
Russ, I will say it once. I said it twice. I say it all year, and it has been working constantly. Bad teams don't repeat good performances. They just don't. The Eagles, I called them in the Philly Influencer. I did a little write up there for the prediction in the game. I was the only one that had the Giants with the points. Everybody else had the Eagles and a clear out blowout victory. I wasn't fooled by that. I've been all over with the Eagles all year round, whether good, bad, all around. It didn't even matter for the most part. But the Eagles coming off at this point lost against the Giants. We like the Giants. We talked about it and everything. Jets coming off an outright dog win. Need I say more? Eagles are first in rushing yards per game, and the Jets are 27th in rushing yards allowed. We're going to get back to the bread and butter of the Eagles. Not going to get fancy and cute. This is a desperation game for them. Eagles are 13th in scoring, and the Jets are 32nd in points allowed. And just for the Jets here in general, 1-6 versus a team with a losing record in their last 6. 1-5 in their last 6 following an ATS win. This is a bad team, Russ. They got their outright dog win. Eagles need this game badly. Every game's on the East Coast for them. There's not really any big road games for them. This is just a nice little drive up, 95. We're going to go right to East Rutherford and lay the smackdown. Give me the Birds laying 6.5.
Nice, yeah. I mean, the Birds had their chance. That's what happens when you have bad coaching and a young quarterback. I had the Giants last week too, or whatever. So watching that first half where they didn't score any points and Hurts didn't throw the ball away, I was like, this is what bad teams do at the end, like bad coaching. You got to kick the field goal, get some points. You're the team that's the favorite. You can't be not getting points before halftime. But I did look up some spreads here for the Chargers.
Okay,
minus 6.5 plus 290. And if you want to go up to minus 9.5 plus 450 and minus 13.5 plus 650. So this is what I'm talking about, where you take a small dog, you're getting great value right there. Almost more than 6-1 just to win by a couple touchdowns. And ATS points wise, Chargers are way below where they should be, and the Bengals are way above. So this is a type of game that I haven't really seen the Bengals get blown out. I'm trying to remember their games. They've all been pretty close. So that's why everybody gets a nice little blowout loss during the season. And I feel like this is a spot where the Bengals should get punched in the mouth by the Chargers. And everyone has been bashing the Chargers these past couple weeks. So they're not opening up the offense. So I could see the offense getting going in that game as well.
Yeah, their one game that they got killed in was against the Cleveland Browns. They lost 41-16 at home, actually.
That's right. Yeah, and everyone was bet that. See, that's another what I'm talking about. There was a small favorite in that game. They were -2.5. And I remember Bengals were catching the steam. They were getting the betting public percentage in that game. So it's about picking your spots, guys, with these dogs. You can get these alternative lines and get a lot of bang for your buck, guys. Even if you hit 50% on these, you're making money because you're picking 2 to 3 to 1 plays on these games. So,
absolutely. I love that angle there.
Mm-hmm.
So the next game we're going to get into, interesting game here. Jaguars at Rams, laying 13 points of Rams. Who are you going with, Russ?
Yes, I'm going to go with the Rams over 30.5 points in this game. So I got a pissed off Rams team coming off 3 straight losses here where they've averaged only 18 points per game in that span. So this is a perfect get right spot here, Chris, for the Rams. Playing a bad Jaguars team coming in on the road. I just feel like the Rams are going to look good in this game. The 3 wins at home that the Rams, when they did win their games at home, they averaged 32 points per game. So this is over what the total is, and it's getting us in a perfect spot here. I just love this over 30.5 here. So give me the Rams over 30.5.
Yeah, I mean, bad team, good team. Jags played, they were playing kind of respectable against the Falcons for the most part. I mean, they had their own turnovers and everything, but yeah, the Rams just need to, get out of their funk that they're in right now. What other way of doing it than going up against the Jags? So I like the Rams here as well. Personally, a game I'm not going to play, but I can understand where you're coming from with this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust laying the points just because I don't know what the Jaguars are going to do on offense. I just feel like the Jaguars out of nowhere are just going to put up that random 20 points out of nowhere. So I know they always just put up no points every game, but they usually get some garbage points. So that's why I don't trust big spreads. So I usually look at team totals or over-unders if I'm dealing with big spreads like this. But Rams always play great at home. So definitely give me the over 30.5 points on that one. So I'll jump into your next game. You got the 49ers -3.5 at the Seahawks. Who you got here?
This is a stinky game. Not going to lie. This is a pretty stinky game.
That doesn't sound good to start.
It's a stinky game, but I do like this game. I'm going with the odds here. I'm going with the trends here. I am taking the Seahawks, getting 3.5 at home. Hear me out. The Seahawks are the better team at defending the run, being 11th in rush DVOA defense. We know that's the bread and butter with the 49ers, is that run game. Seattle's defense has been tested all year. They've had the second hardest schedule for defense this year, so they've had some big bumps in the road this year. The 49ers' weakness is against the pass. They're ranked 22nd in DVOA defense. We know Russ is going to be throwing to his playmakers, Lockett and Metcalf and everybody else for the most part. But I saw some interesting things about Pete Carroll as well. Pete Carroll, as a coach, is 13-4 off back-to-back straight-up losses. Seattle in division games, they're 7-0 as dogs versus opponents off back-to-back straight-up wins, and they're also 11-1 off back-to-back straight-up losses. Seattle in the third quarter of the season, which we are falling into right now, 17-4 versus opponents with revenge. So I like that because they beat the 49ers already. They're going to get a lot of steam with the 49ers because they think they're going to even the series up. This might be a chance where actually the 49ers get swept by Seattle, which is crazy to see because of the Monday night perception that we had against the Redskins and, well, actually Washington, if you will, Washington football team. This is the perception that we're getting here. Seattle is coming off 2 straight up against the spread losses. And the 49ers are 1-13 off non-division games versus opponents off a straight up fave loss. Seattle closed as a small favorite on Monday night. This is who I'm liking here. It's going to be a very, very unpopular play, but I feel like it is the right play, especially if you're getting over that hook with the field goal. Give me the Seahawks plus 3.5.
Speaking my language, I like that right there. It is a weird game to me, but once I saw Debo Samuel isn't playing, I feel like the 49ers are playing really good that they will win the game, but I think it will be by 3 points. So that's why I think the Seahawks get the cover. Um, that Debo Samuel injury is huge because all they've been doing is running the ball,
Mhm.
and he's not playing this week or whatever.
No.
So that's a huge loss for them to run the ball that much. And now he's not playing. He was huge, getting a ton of carries for them. So they got to switch back to the little basic game plan of basically, I just feel like this will be ugly. I can see like a 20, like a low scoring game too. Like, I don't wonder what the over under is on this game.
The over-under is 46, and speaking of,
Mhm.
Mitch is checking, he says,
Yeah.
"What about the under?" So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts about that under there?
I definitely like the under there because the San Fran's been putting up a ton of points these last 3 games too because they've been running down people's throats. This is a division game. Always got to take an under in a division type of game. And that offensive line doesn't look good for the Seahawks, but I mean, Russell can get you just enough points in an ugly game. So I could see
Mhm.
like a 2017 or 23-20. I literally can't see this game going over. Uh,
So what you're talking about, that scoring onslaught that the 49ers have been doing against
mhm,
Minnesota, they scored 34. Against Jacksonville, they scored 30. The Rams, they scored 31. They played Arizona, where they only scored 17, which is still not
mhm,
terrible. And then against
mhm.
Chicago, they scored 33. So they've been
No.
scoring a lot.
Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of the betting public is probably going to take them for the over. So I
And
like where you're
the
at there.
one the 117 you said, that's a division game, so that's what happened. You get into these division
Mhm.
games, um, and you don't get much scoring, so I would
Yeah.
definitely go under, and, I mean, I'm not gonna bet the game, but I would side with you with the Seahawks just
Right.
because 49ers are getting the steam right now.
So the next game we got up for you, this was actually a game that was on my radar. It didn't come
Mhm.
on my card for the most part for the show, but Patriots at Bills. Bills laying 2.5. Where are you going with this?
I'm going with the Patriots under 20 team total points here. So I almost took the Bills, but I switched it to the Patriots because I just feel more confident in this. This is a primetime game with the best defense in the NFL facing a rookie quarterback who hasn't lost a road game yet this season. And then Mac Jones has had bad games this year, but in those games, he got bailed out by defenses, getting pick sixes, crazy stuff happening. And the one game they beat the Chargers, they just had a dominant running game because Mac Jones did nothing in that game against a good pass defense. All these good pass defenses, I remember the Panthers game. It was like a 24-6 game, but Panthers threw a pick six in the end zone. It was a 14-point swing. It was something crazy. So the Patriots aren't really putting up points in these games. They've just been getting crazy turnovers. This is just too big of a game for the Bills. They're not going to lose this game off of turnovers, crazy stuff happening. I feel like this is going to be a hostile environment. Rookie quarterback on the road. We saw Mac Jones on prime time, but those were home games. We haven't seen him in these situations when he's on the road. Look, I just feel like everyone's talking about how high and mighty he is. He's still a rookie quarterback. This is just going to be one of those games that he's going to have a sloppy game, and people are going to be talking about it by the end of the week. So I'm taking the Patriots under, but if I'm taking a pick in this game, I'm taking the Bills here for sure.
Do you know what the team total over under is? Don't
It's
look.
at
Do you know? Do you?
for the game or
Yeah. For what do you think the over under for the Patriots game is?
well, the full game, it's like 42 or 43, right? I did see it already.
Oh, okay.
You're saying for their team total points?
Team total. You're talking about for
I
the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. I said it. It's under 20.
Yeah, I got 20.5 here, and the
Okay.
under 20.5 is minus 130.
Oh, oh, that's on DraftKings, I
Yeah.
guess. Oh, nice. Okay.
So 20
I'd
and a half
probably
is the
rather
line.
take the minus 20 though, because I don't want to be paying no juice like that. So I probably
Yeah.
would take the minus 20.
Well, that's
But
interesting though. That I mean, being that low right there. So I
mhm,
think that speaks volumes to your under there for their team total. So I think it's a good side to be on. Originally, the Patriots defense is playing really awesome. They've been like
mhm,
unbelievable. I was kind of leaning towards the Patriots this game. I decided to stay away from this game, so
mhm,
I'll let you dabble with this. This is a too tough of a game. I don't feel like sweating Monday night.
mhm.
You know, I want to be done my card. I want to enjoy myself, start the new week right, especially probably some bowl games coming up, things of that nature. So
Yeah,
no,
so
thank you.
that's the reason why I'm so confident in the under because I'm an underdog person. So like the Bills being a favorite, I just feel like the Patriots have a great defense. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. So that's why I wouldn't trust the Bills to lay the points. That's why I don't know, this under 20 points. I just love this game. So I definitely would ride with that under for
All right.
sure. I mean,
Nice.
look, we're getting a rookie quarterback on Monday Night Football on the road. I don't know. I would not trust that at all.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, so we'll jump into your next game. We're actually done with NFL, guys. We're going to jump into college football. We both got a game here. Chris is going to go first. We got Western Kentucky -2 at Texas San Antonio, and the over-under's at 72.
Yeah. So we got, well, actually, the spread is -3 Western Kentucky. The over under is 72,
wow.
Russ. This is the first game of the week. It's going to get you ready. It's going to be on Friday, 7 p.m. Conference USA Championship. I can't wait. It's going to be an awesome game to watch. I had Western Kentucky big last week. That was my number one play. It was a crazy game. The score at halftime was Marshall 14, Western Kentucky was 6. They only scored 6 points in the first half. Second half, they scored 47 points, Russ. The onslaught happened. This team rises and fires. Zappy is awesome. He has the number one passing offense in the entire country. He has 52 touchdowns, Russ. 52.
Damn.
This guy is unbelievable over here. And both teams, I dug deeper into this game. Both teams are great at protecting the quarterback. Western Kentucky is ranked number 1 in defending sack rate, and Utah and UTSA is 15th in the country. These guys are going to be clean. They're going to be distributing the rock back and forth. No one's going to get after these guys. Low spread, high over under. Get ready for some back and forth action, scoring back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to get you excited here for the entire betting college football week. Both defenses ranked 57th UTSA and 82nd, the Hilltoppers, in defensive efficiency. And that's based on possession advantage the defense has. That's supposed to be expected. So the defenses haven't been playing all that great. And Western Kentucky is 125th in the entire country in defending the power success rate. And what that pretty much means is that on 3rd and 4th downs, they have a hard time stopping the run game, moving the chain, scoring touchdowns, things of that nature. The offense runs through Harris, the quarterback. He's a senior. He's running. He's throwing. He's doing everything he can to produce. The Roadrunners have been playing fantastic. They just lost their first game against the Mean Green of North Texas. And McCormick, their running back, he's a junior. He's running the rock, 12 TDs. They're not going to let this team blow them out. They're going to play with them. This is like their last hurrah, especially playing in the first ever Conference USA championship game. This is going to be huge. There's going to be fireworks for us. This is high for a reason. 72. Get your popcorn ready. You ready for some touchdowns? You ready to roll? This is your game. You want excitement? Get your popcorn ready.
The only fireworks are going to be in your backyard. That's the only fireworks going off in that game, all right?
I'm telling you, man, this is going to be a fun game, man. You're going to see a lot of points. This over-under can't be high enough.
Yeah, okay. You got the over, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Over 72.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
And then now you're getting into a game that was also on my radar as well. We got the Pac-12 championship touching up on my conference over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon, Utah, neutral site, Las Vegas, Pac-12 championship. Utah is laying 3 points. Where are you going, Russ?
I got Oregon. Of course, you guys know I got the dog here. All right. So these teams faced off already, and Oregon got blown out. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. They lost 38-7. So now the public's all over Utah just because of that blowout game. I'll take a team who was projected to basically win the Pac-12, Oregon, before the season even started, in a role now where they're an underdog coming into this game. I just see this Oregon team being very motivated for this game. I think they take care of business. Just a great special spot here as we hit these special spots with dogs last week, guys. I think I hit both plays on that San Diego State and Minnesota. They both won outright last week. We're going to have another spot. We're going to hit another dog that's going to win outright. Make sure you guys get this pick in. Take Oregon +3.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to beat really good teams, especially twice in one season. I mean, this is hard to do. I mean, Oregon, they have been up and down. They beat Ohio State this year, and then they kind of fell off against Stanford, I believe it was, who is god-awful, which pretty much ruined their playoff chances for the most part. But losing to Utah. They already lost to him already at Utah pretty handedly. We were all over the Utes a couple weeks back when Oregon was a 4.5-point dog, I believe, at Utah, and we had the Utes there, and they dominated that game. They didn't even stand a chance that game. But this is the Pac-12 championship. It's in Vegas. It's tough to beat good teams twice. And I know Oregon's been kind of back and forth, but they were projected to be pretty good this year. So give me the Ducks as well here. I think this is a good spot, especially if you're getting 3.5. I honestly would almost even play money line at this point because it's tough to beat a good team like this twice. And I mean, are they a great team? No, but they are a good team. And like you said, projected to do really well in the Pac-12, and Utah has been playing really well, especially with the run game and everything. But I'm with you on here. You're getting points with Oregon here. I'm all for it.
Definitely.
Hey, but you know what? That's going to do it for us today. Short and sweet, to the point, get you guys what you need to bet this week. We had a lot of good nuggets here with everything, with all these games, NFL games we love, college football. We're going to start you off right here this week and, give you the guys the info, the winning bets, the keep it moving, the press it for next week, the keep making you guys money. And I want to thank you guys again for watching Tackle the Board. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter, and that's my co-host Russ Reese, the Vegas Line Reader. You can find him on Twitter and everything else. Appreciate if you like, subscribe, comment. I love the comments and everything, so keep them coming. And Russ, you got anything else before we get started with Rising to Fire this week?
Yeah, I mean, the games we started doing the better bets. We were doing every game early in the season, and then last week we guys gave you the games that we actually are interested in and that we would bet. And I was looking back in the games. I think I went 4-2, and you went like 4-2 too. We both had a winning record on the picks we gave on the show last week. We're gonna have another winning week, guys. And guys, all my big plays. I don't put all my big plays on the show, but contact me, message me on Vegas at Vegas Line Reader on Twitter. And guys, make sure you download the Sharp app. We're powered by the Sharp app. Download it. You guys can check out the odds and get the best odds for what sportsbook you want to do. So I always recommend, if you guys are putting bets in, you want to know what you want to get the best line possible on these games. So download the app. And guys, if you're watching it on YouTube right now, just hit the like button, help us out, subscribe, and so you guys can stay updated on our picks every week. So thanks you guys for following, and it's going to be another great week for betting.
Absolutely, man. Remember, download the Sharp app. Be smart, be a sharp bettor. Be sure to get that, your best odds on any of the games, because especially with props too, they're up there as well. So if you're feeling froggy, you want to leap, you want to bet some props, go right ahead. They'll get you the best odds for them as well. And guys, let's keep making that money. Let's tackle that board.
Let's have another good week.